Due to changes in the schedule, this will be the final episode of the weekly news posted on this channel, at least for a while.
We at OtaKrew would like to thank everyone for watching through all of the weeks of news we tried to bring you. We hope you've enjoyed it.
But don't worry, fellow weebs, the channel isn't going anywhere. We'll still be uploading content on a bi-weekly basis with a more encompassing podcast and of course, anime royales.
So sit back and relax and join us for an end of an era.
We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is JcGreen, and welcome back to the Otaku Weekly News. It's been a very, very long time since we've done this. It's probably been around 2-3 weeks. I'm not really sure. Long hiatus, but we're now back in the groove. Hopefully, this will go smooth and great, but I doubt it. Of course, my name is JcGreen. I'm not alone. Today, I got Corey, MrRecklessPenguin. You're back, man. You're back.
What up, man? What up?
With the shades. With the shades.
School shades for fundraisers. Gotta support your school.
All right. I got as well Connor, Star 6 Wars 1. How's it going?
Yo.
Camera's working. I'm liking it. It's working.
Yes.
And of course, we have Gabriel, ShinGenesis.
What's up, guys?
As usual. Of course, guys, this is the weekly news. If you have not seen the weekly news before, you don't know what this is about. Basically, we sit down here every week, talk about the weekly news of anime, video games, any otaku-related kind of news. And then we discuss them, give a little 2-cent opinion, and of course all of the articles are down in the description below if you guys want to sit down and relax and just follow up and see if we missed a few things that's happened. But regardless, let's just get this started. Who wants to start off with the first article about Bloodstain, guys?
Me.
Of course, Connor. Go ahead.
Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Originally a Kickstarter made by Koji Igarashi, aka the creator of Castlevania, some of the Castlevania games, more so the Metroidvanias, is starting a new one called Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. He's gotten enough backers now to get a Wii U release. Now this is pretty cool because, honestly, I love these games. And when he left Konami, this kind of a sad thing to realize, like, oh, he made really good Castlevania games. Crap. And now to see that he's still alive and kicking and making a brand new Castlevania-like game, or even Metroidvania game, I am hyped for this.
I want to clarify real quick. You mean he made good games, he's gone now. Crap, that sucks. Or he made good games, crap.
He made good games, now he's gone. Crap.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
My bad. Went too fast. Okay.
We're all out of it. It's okay.
It's all good. But yeah, I mean, the Kickstarter was interesting because the original goal was 500,000, but he's still got 10 days to go. So if you guys want to go throw more money at him so he can build the rest of his fucking house out of it, that's cool too. But it's reached 3.1 million, damn near 3.2. It's got 10 days left to go, which is probably how it got to the Wii U. They were like, oh, that's right, this guy's made us tons of money and will probably continue to. Can we have back? So that's what I'm thinking happened. And the game looks phenomenal. It looks like some of the older, not like the first couple of Castlevanias, but some of the older ones. It has that very 2D side-scroller feel, kind of like what you would see in like BlazBlue or Guilty Gear, you know, but a side-scroller and not a fighter. It looks really, really good. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts?
This looks really cool.
I'm on the same boat. It does. I mean, I like the style, and it's definitely something I would totally like to sit down and play. Most definitely, if I owned a Wii U, of course, which I don't. But I would love to sit down and play something like this. What about you, Corey? You own a Wii U.
I'm looking at these images, and it's just like, ooh, oh baby,
so
these
great.
graphics,
Yeah.
oh, so good, oh.
Yeah.
Very much so. I mean, it really has that Castlevania feel, like the gothic feeling of it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, I love the
Also-
tone and everything.
I mean, even when you just scroll down like all his bases that he's funded, I mean, he had to make more of them. You could tell.
Oh, yeah.
His character designs.
Yeah. You even
Gorgeous.
get to see some of the backings for it. Like some of these backings, like if you donate a certain amount, you'll get either a digital copy or physical copy of the game when it's released in estimated March 2017. Or if you donate, like say $100, you will actually have your name in the credits of this game.
Even more interesting, if you donate like 1,500, like in that area, they'll make a digital portrait of you and put it somewhere in the game. That's pretty awesome.
That is pretty freaking cool.
That's what I'm talking
Unfortunately, it's all gone, so
Yeah.
that one can't be done sadly anymore, but that would have been pretty cool.
And that 2,000 goal too, man. Collaborate with the development team to create an in-game weapon. That's what I would.
Oh,
I'd have been like, hell yeah. Oh, it would have been
A goat shooting sword.
a goat shooting
Yeah.
sword.
Yes.
They have
Because this game is
they
goat.
have David Hayter in this game. Like,
They got Metal Gear in this game.
yeah, they got Metal Gear.
They got Snake. That's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. This
That's-
game. Oh,
Jeez.
man.
They're messing around, man.
oh, maybe if they get
Now
the
Oh.
if they get the
Oh.
3.5, I'll actually have a chance to actually get this game. And I can get my damn Vita port. That's my only chance, because then I gotta get a Wii U to get this and enjoy it.
Retro for the win.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
They got-
most definitely. But
I mean, just you guys should check out the Kickstarter. Donate if you can, because then it'll get ported to other consoles. And just look at some of these goals, man. You get to like they'll turn your pet into an enemy in the game. That's freaking crazy. Like that's really out of the box thinking. I love that. You get to design an enemy, like, and there's still some of these are left. Like that's just awesome.
Yeah.
You could get a one-of-a-kind ring made of silver, handcrafted
Gosh.
by IGA himself. Wow, that's pretty awesome. I mean, just some of these tier rewards are ridiculous. The game looks great. It's very retro feeling,
oh,
but when
gosh.
it's not like the graphics take a dip. It's not like you're playing an actual Super Nintendo game. It's kind of like Shovel Knight, but the graphics in game in fighting are way better. Like the start menu stuff like that, very Shovel Knight, very reminiscent of that. But in-game graphics, I mean, it's like somebody prettied up Blaze Blue. It looks freaking amazing. Or Guilty Gear, because I don't really like Blaze Blue. But it's like, it's just beautiful. It looks amazing. I don't really
Yeah.
understand how Nintendo let him go. I mean, Jesus, the guy's a freaking
It's actually
master.
Konami that let him go.
Oh, Konami, I'm sorry.
It's alright.
Oh, Konami's kind of been on that slippery slope for a while.
Yeah, they've been doing that lately.
Be like, gotta get rid of this person. I'm like, well, I don't think you should do that, but okay, I guess they'll make other things that are good.
Well,
Are they the bastards who got rid of my Silent Hills?
yep,
Mm-hmm.
sure are.
Oh,
Mm.
I
And-
don't expect them anymore.
And who knows what the Metal Gear series is going to happen after this.
Wait, was it Konami that got rid of
Metal Gear is Konami.
Impressive.
Phantom Pain, more like Phantom Game. Never gonna come out.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. That's the thing is, that was impressive. But
Yeah.
these companies, they're like, oh, we don't want to pay you, the salary that you rightfully deserve in order to make us all of the money. And these guys are just gonna leave. They're gonna start their own thing. They're gonna run the market solo. That's what they're gonna do. They're
Yeah.
gonna start their own companies, and they're gonna treat their employees better, because that's the way capitalism works. Is when you're in high demand, you're in high demand. Them letting go of these people, like if they wanted millions of dollars a year, you give them millions of dollars a year, because you're getting hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Like, it's common sense.
That's what happens when you get talk to greedy corporate people. They're like, yeah, we can live without them. It's okay. No, you won't.
And if it's creative differences, same thing. Let them be creative, because their creativity is what got you where you are.
True.
So, I mean, it's really a win-win situation to keep these kind of people on board. And because they didn't, this thing has already garnered $3.1 million, and it's not on shelves anywhere yet, but it's going to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a really dumb mistake on their part, and I'm glad the guy's kicking ass, man. If I had a Wii U, I would buy this, and I'm really considering getting a Wii U just to get this.
There we go.
Yeah. I would get multiple copies of this game.
Yeah, I might too, honestly, just to support him, to show the industry, hey, go fuck yourself. Like, yeah, honestly, a lot of the industries, entertainment industries have been doing this lately, where they're screwing people out. I mean, we know how much like a mangaka gets, or how much an animator gets in Japan. We know that they get fucked bad. They get terribly fucked. Like, writers get screwed all the time, which is why we had writer strikes back in 2008. Everybody is trying to screw the creators, and when the creators finally screw back, it's a beautiful fucking thing.
Yeah.
100% agree. But
one other thing just to gotta mention about these, another thing they were doing for showing support is certain Let's Players, like anime YouTube Let's Players, actually been doing some showings for old Castlevania games to help support this as well.
I think, not to like pimp myself out or anything, but I'm probably going to do the same thing. I'll probably hook up the old SNES or whatever, video capture it and get Castlevania out there, because this guy deserves it. And, if you have a platform, why not use it to help?
100% agree. It's 100%. You know what? Just for the sake of this, if any of you guys want to support this particular project and want this to go out even further, go back it up. The Kickstarter links down in the description below, as well as additional article if you want to learn more about it. But I think we covered from the majority of what we had to say.
One last thing, if you don't have the money to back it up, share it. Just spread the news, because a lot of people, I didn't even know about this until today. A lot of people don't know about it. So, if you don't have money, that's fine, but pimp it out on your Facebook, on your YouTube channel, and whatever you got. Pimp it out, because it should get out there.
Agreed. You know what? Just for the sake of it, Gabe, you have a very strong love for this show.
Oh God, I do.
A very strong love.
I do.
And I don't think it's right for any of us to really tackle this. I think you should just go ahead and just talk all you need to about this.
Birds, though.
So yeah, them birds. Okay, so we got Durarara, the Durarara X2, which was basically season 2 of Durarara. It's getting a second season and a third, and they are unveiling the song performers, the cast, the dates, everything that's going on with it. Excuse me, they're unveiling all of it on their website. You can go over there and check it out. But the most important news for me is that there are going to be 3 seasons of Durarara X2. I mean, after the first Durarara ended, I wanted more. It's made by Brainspace, Bakano, Penguin Drum. They're good. Brainspace is one of the best studios out there, at least in my opinion. A lot of people's opinions, they're pretty phenomenal, honestly. And Durarara is no exception. They are great. It's very much got that Bakano feel. It's got a lot of tie-ins to my favorite anime of all time, Bakano. It's got my favorite female lead in an anime, Celti. It is great. I can't praise this anime enough. It is on my top 10 list. I think it should be on a lot of people's top 10 list. And to have this next season come out, to be completely honest, X2 started off a little bit slow, and I was like, man, if they keep this pacing, I don't think that it's going to go very well, because they're only going to have, a set amount of episodes, like 12 episodes or whatever. And they kept the pacing, and I was like, this isn't going to go well. But knowing now that they have 3 seasons to do this in, that pacing is perfect, because that's how you tell a story. You pace it out real slow, give each of the characters time to develop, and now that I know that that's something that they have going for it, it only makes it better. It makes me want to rewatch it so I can go, man, let's see where this story is really going to go, and let's take into account all of this pacing, all of this character development, all of this world building that they've been doing, and really give it the time that it deserves, because it finally has the time that it deserves. I'm just incredibly happy about this. It is killer. You should go to their website, check out all of this info that they've released, the song, the cast, everything, dates, just the whole entire thing. They're just releasing it all, which is beautiful. And man, yeah, I'm happy.
Understandable.
Oh, yes.
Go.
I've only seen the first episode of the first season of Durarara, but from what I saw, I'm like, I'm gonna like this. The only reason I stopped was because I had other anime I needed to watch first.
Right. I'll be completely honest. The first 2 episodes of the first season of Durarara are pretty slow, and it's kind of hard to get through. But just get through those first 2 episodes. As soon as you'll get kind of hooked throughout them. Like at the end of the first episode, you'll be like, okay, I like where this is going. The middle end of the second episode, you'll be like, all right. The third episode, you're done. You're in. Like, that's it. You're hook, line, sinker. Because it really is that phenomenal. And these characters are very diverse. And there's a lot of just very interesting development with characters like Shizuo and Celti. Like, these characters really do get development. This is actual writing. And that might sound weird, but there's not a lot of it in anime nowadays. I mean, we have things like Akame ga Kill and Tokyo Ghoul. People are like, this is edgy and this and that, but it's not real writing. It's not real storytelling. They're not real characters. These are, and that is so refreshing to me. I'm just so happy that they're continuing because they deserve it.
100% agree, and I mean, I'm glad that a show like this is getting more, and if they continue to do what they do best, more to them, and I think that's perfectly fine. There are shows out there that haven't gotten recognition to get a second season, or or vice versa. There are shows that just get constant seasons after season because it just racks in the money. If anime can take a style such as, or not just a style, but just more on the way that they put out their platform, like Durara, something that is well written and definitely choreographed with like a diverse cast of characters, you have a good anime right there.
Yeah.
But a lot of times nowadays, and this kind of brings that same old argument that now the community is changing. Anime is always changing, and it's always gonna have its different levels of like what its genre or what its generation is trying to go for. And nowadays, it's not what Durara is not the whole big spectrum. A lot of the big spectrum is the Tokyo Ghouls, the Akame ga Kills, hell, tons and tons of more of the appalling fan service, but there's more to it than just that. But there's not a lot of this diversity that Durara does bring out, which even for me, I watched the first season, haven't gotten to the second season yet, but I can't wait to do so when it's a little farther in.
Yeah, and that's a really good thing that you just said there. That makes me like you're waiting until it's a little further in, because this is a kind of show you want to binge watch. Like, I completely get that. I don't want to wait like a week for the next Durara. I dropped it. I dropped everything in this last season, but I dropped it because I was like, I can't do it and like wait for it to come out and like be on the edge of my seat until it's like up on the website. Like I can't do that. So what I've decided to do is just wait until I can batch watch it, because this is the kind of show where you have to be in that mood to just sit down and be like, clear your schedule for a couple hours, grab a pizza and just go, because it will take you on that journey. And by waiting week after week, you're taken out of that journey and you're taken out of that journey. And it really, really sucks. So, I mean, honestly, don't really simulcast it. Just watch it in a batch. And I think you'll have a much more enjoyable experience, because it's just too much to comprehend. Like, week by week, you're going to forget things because there's so many characters and so much happening. You're going to forget things and you're going to be like, oh, yeah, that happened. Oh, yeah, that happened. Oh, who is that? What's going on? But if you watch it like in a nice batch, like format, like you would like binge watch something, that is just the perfect way to go about it. And it's so good. I can't praise it enough, because each of these characters, they're not just like three-dimensional characters. They're flawed. They're like, there's not a good character. They're all incredibly flawed. And just to see good writing be rewarded with more seasons, it's great. I'm thrilled.
Corey, Connor, any last thoughts you like to throw in on this batch right here as far as Durara?
I'm excited to see more Durara when I eventually do get back to it, which probably will be sooner than later.
And Silent Corey, how about you?
I haven't finished Durara.
Please do. It's really
I got 6 episodes in and I was like, eh.
I understand. No, the beginning, it can take a while. I get it. Up to, I could see that, but just give it a shot. Trust me, give it a shot.
I plan on watching a shit ton this summer.
All right.
There you
Already
go.
got like 5 animes I wanted to watch out of the way. So.
I'll watch it with you, man. I'm like dead serious. I will rewatch it. I love this shit so much.
There you go, make it a little more easier. So, Durara, guys, season 2. Or talking about the rest of second season and season 3 that's coming out. So, guys, if you guys would like to go check it out, of course, links in the description, just to follow up with that. Now, Toonami, we were discussing about this earlier. We're talking about Toonami. It's good, it's bad, it's ugly. And for me, personally, I mean, I love Toonami, but I'm not a big fan of this show, and I think we're all on the same boat on this. I mean, we were kind of shit-talking it in the beginning, and I mean, to anyone out there, if you like this show, cool. I don't know why, but it's cool. Toonami announced that, Akame ga Kill is going to be part of the new lineup. It's coming. We kind of saw, I kind of saw it coming. I just knowing how Toonami's been laying its stuff out, I kind of expected it. It's supposed to be coming out August 8th, I believe. Yes. So I mean, this isn't a surprise that it's coming out. I mean, you already have the dub work coming out. You already have those already given to you. It's not a surprise that this was coming. I mean, of course, we'll probably expect Tokyo Ghoul and all those other shows. It's in that same batch of what this, I want to say, generation has, at least for this lineup of Toonami that they're offering. And Kami Got Kill is just gonna be the next one that's coming out. So that's really all it is. And now I'm just gonna wait what everyone else says about it.
Sorry.
All right. I've already said enough about the show itself. It's a piece of shit. Okay. My problem is why do shows like this when there are so many hidden gems out there that they could be putting on Toonami? Is it just the money? It probably is just the money.
Yeah.
And it pisses me the fuck off. Like last year, we got Ping Pong the fucking animation. That shit was dank
Parasite.
hell. Holy shit!
That's
and you
another
want to know? You want to know what's not on Toonami?
What?
There should be. And it got a dub. Ping Pong.
Ping pong. You can
And
go
it chose this shit instead.
Parasite. You could go Kids on Slope because they love Watanabe.
Go anything.
I would have preferred Zenkyo no Terror.
Honestly, I'm not surprised that
There's
that
so
hasn't
much
made it
here.
yet. I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah.
This is like the worst possible way to get anyone into the anime medium through a shitty shonen like this.
It's just
Yeah.
shonen.
And it's shonen. It's basically shonen.
I respect shonen more than this.
I would prefer Taizai on there instead of this. But at least Taizai knew what it was.
I would prefer tie-dye, which for me is just a
Tie-dye?
2-hour show about a shirt getting tie-dyed.
Oh, really? Nice. I'd actually prefer that fucking too. Instead of this piece
Sorry.
of shit.
You and Connor go because I'm going
Yeah,
on a diatribe.
Yeah.
Go
You know
on.
what? Sentai has so many other anime they could have picked from.
course.
So many others. They had things like Medaka Box, which, yeah, it's huge in the fan service and not the best show, but here's the problem. It's actually better than Akame Ga Kill. I have seen all of Medaka Box. I dropped Akame Ga Kill.
It's not hard being
Let's
better
be
than a
honest.
Kami Ga Kill.
Syphilis is better than a Kami Ga Kill.
Yeah.
It's isn't really. It's not that a disease is better than oh my god, kill. It's you're on that down low, real down low.
Are you guys done? Because I got some words.
I'm gonna say is
Yeah,
it's a
all I'm gonna
generation,
say
and I'm gonna
is-
feel like an old man for saying it.
all
But
I'm
I'm
gonna
just let the real old man say it. Go ahead, Gabe. Go ahead.
Corey, no, go ahead. You had something to say.
Oh, I have something to say?
I thought you did.
Well, I'm just saying, it's such a shame that all of these like really highly underrated shows that at least come out like once a year are all undermined by all these types of shows like Akame Ga Kill, Tokyo Ghoul, everything like that. It's such a shame that they're not getting as much exposure. Like a show that I just recently watched, Kimono no Soja Eren, which came out 2011. No one's ever heard of it, and it has one of the most dynamic cast of characters I think I've ever seen. Does it get recognition? No, it doesn't get shit because of shit shows like this. And I fucking hate it.
Fair enough. So, okay. I don't want to talk too much about Akame Ga Kill specifically because if you want to know my or any of our opinions on it, we've done a whole podcast on it. We've talked about it in seasonal. Yeah. Most of us have done reviews on it. I've done episodic reviews on it. Like, I mean, there's enough content from each of us. What I'm going to say is that I'm not going to shit completely on it because I've done that before. I've done that with Zenkyo no Terror. I've done that with Tokyo Ghoul, and I feel like as I do that more, I start to shit on the fan base more, and I don't want to shit on the fans because their opinion is valued. Your opinion as a fan, what you enjoy, is valued. It matters. It genuinely does. I just wish you had better opinions. Like, I'm not hating you as a person whatsoever, but I do wish that you had, I don't want to say better taste, but I do want to say better opinions because just objectively, as being as objective as I can, just from a writing standpoint, it's not good writing. It's really not, and that's what needs to be rewarded. It could be pretty, it could have adult content, which, let's be honest, it's just the gore and the fan service. That's really what the adult content is, right? And you get a lot of that now in PG-13 shows. I mean, movies, you can watch Game of Thrones for that, but it also has good writing. So, I mean, I'm not going to shit on the fan base. I mean, I don't respect your opinion, but I respect the fact that it's yours and you have the ability to have it, and that no one can take that from you, and I'm not going to shit on you. But what I am going to say is Toonami is fucking up, because when I was a kid, Toonami came out. Toonami came out in 1998, 97, somewhere around that time, and their original lineup of anime, at least, was a lot of unknown stuff, especially for the West. We had Trigun, we had Cowboy Bebop during their midnight run, we had Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, we had Gundam Wing for the slightly more mature audience, we had Sailor Moon. So what they did with their original slot from the 3 to 6 slot was Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, and Gundam Wing. Now, the reason for this is because people had already seen Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball. They were already out in different areas. You could watch them on UPN at the time, on Fox, on like Telemundo and shit. So for people like me at the time who didn't have cable, we knew what Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball were at the very least. So when we got cable and then Toonami came out and boom, what the hell is this? We were like, oh yeah, Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball, I used to watch that. Then we got into Dragon Ball Z and it was like, okay, here's Shonen. Then we got into Gundam Wing. It was like, here's mecha / more adult political themes. And that was a very, very smart way of doing it, because people didn't know what those two things were, but they fit the slots perfectly. Then you had the Midnight Run, which brought in more real adult content, like Trigun, which has to go into a lot of like what's right and what's wrong and making actual decisions. Even though it's kind of comedy and slapstick and Bash is a little wacky, it had real adult themes in it. And then you had Cowboy Bebop, which also had very adult themes in it. You had Ranma, which opened up people's minds to sexuality and gender identification, and that was a genius thing to put on in that slot. You had Yu Hakusho, which was one of the probably the most adult shonen at the time, and it was genius how they plotted out the course of what was going to be shown when. It was perfect. Now what they're doing is they're going for shows that have gotten big in Japan and are big with Western audiences. So we have Akame ga Kill, we have Sword Art Online. Dead Man Wonderland was actually a really good choice because it was something that nobody'd seen, and it had adult themes. Actually did have adult themes and adult content, and it could influence and garner the kind of audience that they're looking for, which is kind of the Tokyo Ghoul Akame ga Kill audience. And that was a good choice. But now they're not doing that anymore. They're not trying to kind of pick these niche things. Like they could go with Mushishi, they could go with Parasite, they could really go a lot of different ways here. I mean, there's stuff coming out that's genius. There really is, even nowadays. But they're not doing that, and they're going for the fan bases, for the shows that already have huge fan bases, like Tokyo Ghoul, like Akame ga Kill. Tokyo Ghoul hasn't happened yet, but we know it's going to happen. And the thing is, they're dumbing down their audience. An audience that they originally brought up to be intelligent, that they brought up to see the world not in black and white, but to see gray, that they brought up to really see these different subtext in anime and the different subtext in writing and these different characters and three-dimensional characters. They're now bringing very two-dimensional characters, and they're bringing very two-dimensional storylines because it's popular. And that is just not only detrimental, but incorrigibly saddening to me as a person who grew up with something that I feel made me partially, at least, who I am. I took with me the writing and the style and like the jazz and all this stuff from Cowboy Bebop. I took with me this morality compass of Vash's. I took with me the concept of gender identification and like seeing people as a man or a woman based on who they are as a person and not the gender that they have from Ranma. I took all of these different things from these great shows that they had originally shown. But what can you take from Akame ga Kill? Honestly, tell me, what can you take from this? What can you learn? What is this going to teach anybody? What is this going to instill in somebody, and who is this person going to be who is a 13, 14-year-old kid who's watching this at midnight on Saturday? It's not going to teach them anything. It's not going to make them anything, and maybe that's not the point. Maybe that's not something that is on their shoulders, but it's something that they built originally. It's something that they did. They used to do these little segments as well, like teaching people things like about bullying, about like trying your hardest, things like that. They used to do that on Toonami.
It's time to talk about my least favorite kind of person, bullies.
And it was really, really smart because they would have clips from the animes showing people like finding out who they are, dealing with bullying, dealing with all these different things that people really did go through in that time slot's demographic.
All you have to do is give us your money and we'll let you go home.
We've all dealt with a bully at some point.
I've never seen such a pathetic sight.
Even the bully was once the one being bullied.
And it was it was smart, but they're not doing that anymore. They're going for popularity and they're going for money, and I get it, but it doesn't leave me any less sad. And that's what I have to say is I really wish that I don't want them to go back to their original programming, not by any means. Please keep finding new programming, but don't just find the flavor of the week. Find something that can tie into what you've always done, which is honestly help raise kids whose parents were either too busy or too damn lazy to raise them themselves. You guys did a good job, and I kind of wish you'd go back to it. That's all.
I
Well,
can agree with that.
I don't disagree with one bit. Not one bit. So, after that fine speech that I'm sure everyone in the audience was crying about, I'm sure everyone was clapping.
I'm wearing sunglasses.
It's through the sunglasses, I know. Moral of the story is, not hating the fan base. Wish anime would just get better enough that we could put something out that's better. It's simple as that. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
So, Corey, before you start breaking into tears, why don't you talk about our next one, about a horror manga that we have coming soon.
Oh boy, horror. Something I love.
Something that we don't see a lot in anime.
Oh no. Oh well, apparently this is horror manga called Ajin or Ajin. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I think it's Ajin. I think.
Ajin.
I would
Okay,
think.
Ajin. It's getting a theatrical trilogy. So, thank you for actually adapting a horror thing for once. Like, we don't have enough horror in our lives in terms of anime. It's not, and whenever we try to, it's always executed shittily. So hopefully this will be cool. I mean, JC, you read like volume 1?
I've read the first volume. I have.
Is it just blood? Because if it's just blood, I'm gonna fucking hate it.
From what I read from the first one, it's very like dark, kind of like a dark atmospheric. Why can't I fucking say words?
Atmosphere?
Yes, atmospheric. It's very like there's a very dark undertone to it, at least when I read it, and it does have some of that aspect of the gore, but it kind of has more of a overall evolving dark story to it, which I liked. I didn't get to the second one or the third one or the other volumes that they had. I only read the first one, but I liked it. It definitely it was definitely something that I enjoyed, that had some sort of a manga anime-esque that I haven't read or seen in a long time from anime that actually felt a little creepy. So I have something to look forward for this when it does come out. So I'm a little interested, and I'm pretty excited.
Apparently, it's about humans that cannot die. That could be an interesting concept to cover. It could be, but it could be potentially a train wreck. But
it depends on how they kind of like put it through the manga. Yeah. It felt like they could easily do it, but again, I don't know. It depends on how they adapt it.
I'm a very large fan of the horror genre, or at least I have been in life, and I'm not a fan of gore, like, you know, the gore fest like Hostel and Saw, and just
I'm with you. I'm with you all the way.
Yeah, it's very lazy, and it's
overdone.
You know, it's overdone, but I mean, not only that, there's no depth to it. It's just like, oh, that person's eyeball got popped out with a spoon or something. Fucking wacky. Like, yeah, the images kind of stick with you, but what sticks with you more, like the things that keep you up at night, aren't the things like, oh, some psycho killer is gonna come in here and like saw me up. No, the things that stick with you at night are shit like that's unsettling, like the girl crawling out of the TV from The Ring, or the, like, way back in the day, The Exorcist, head spinning. Just like, there are these creepy, unsettling, unnerving things that keep you up at night, and that is what horror is. That's what it should be. So if they can pull that off, if they can maybe even get into kind of the psychoanalytic fears that go into a person actually being unable to die, and the just wacky shit that happens with your brain, then that would be an interesting concept. Like, there's a lot of things they could do, and that's what I want. I want it to be creepy. I want it to be unsettling. I want it to be unnerving. And I want it to stay with you. No jump scares. None of that bullshit.
Yeah.
No, fuck that.
I fucking hate that. Like, horror should be subtle.
It's lazy.
Horror
It's
should
really
be
lazy.
subtlety.
Horror should be subtlety. 100% with you.
That's the way you build up the atmosphere. That's the way you build up the scares, and it shouldn't be just like, oh, a can fell. That's the thing I hate about jump scares nowadays. If you had jump scares back in the good old days, when I was still like wasn't even a thought.
When you were
when you had jump scares, they're actually something you should be afraid of. Like, it gave you like the enemy or what you should be afraid of. Nowadays, if a fucking can of tomato soup falls, it just makes a loud ass noise. Like, I fucking hate that.
I know. I agree.
James Wan does. This is why I like what James Wan has been doing with the first not the second one, but the first Insidious with like The Conjuring, because he always makes sure that if he does a jump scare, it's always something you should be afraid of. It's never just a bullshit type of anything. And the Babadook with the French friend, if you ever seen the Babadook,
it was a fresh breath there.
My fresh breath.
It was. I bet it was.
Because something that a lot of horror lacks nowadays is good characters, like characters you can actually root for, not just stupid stereotypes. And the thing about a single mother, like visioning these psychological things because of her stress, that's actually terror. That's actually horror. What we get nowadays is just the typical slasher, the found footage. Oh, don't even get me started with those fucking things. It's just sickening to me.
Okay, I'm gonna say the best found footage movie I've ever seen, my opinion, original VHS, and not every part of it, but there's like two or three segments in there that do unsettling really well.
There's a lot.
Shit's unsettling. The hand walls, that shit's unsettling. The alien pregnancy webcam thing, unsettling.
The second film, the one with the Antichrist thing, like that was actually built up quite well.
Yeah, that was really good. That's what unsettling is. That kind of shit that sticks with you. Like when I first saw I think it's the first one in VHS 1 with the succubus girl.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. That's the first. That's like
stuck with me, dude, for like months. I was like, holy fuck, the makeup, oh my god, the prosthetics, just the actual work put into it and the lack of CGI. It was all, what's that called?
Practical effects.
Practical effects. Thank you very much. It was all practical effects, and that is. My god, that was unsettling, that was unnerving. It wasn't even a jump scare either. When she first showed up, it was a slow creep into the camera. Yes. What's scarier? What's gonna stay with you longer? Someone in your fucking face, or someone just fucking coming at you slowly, unblinkingly? That is fucking horrifying. When they look into your soul for that fucking long, that's horror.
See, for me, it comes to like the aspect, like I like suspenseful horror that gives me like a very creepy feeling, because it's just creepy. It's like, ugh, I don't like that, ugh, but I love it at the same time. I'm just like, oh god, it's just too much. And I think VHS does that quite perfectly to that aspect. It really does.
And sometimes less is more.
Yeah, exactly. That's There's a Reddit, I think it's called Don't Sleep or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, that creepypasta, not all of creepypasta, like 80% of creepypasta is crap, but that 20% of creepypasta and a lot of the Don't Sleep Reddit, they do creepy perfectly, unnerving, unsettling. These are words that need to be brought back into the vernacular of horror. That is just, that to me is horror. That's what it should be. That's what it has been for a long time, and then suddenly wasn't for the last 20 years. Let's bring that back, and if this can do that, I'm 100% for it, because we haven't seen some shit like that since, God, what, Paranoia Agent? What was the last genuinely creepy thing?
Oh god, it was a while.
I don't know.
I don't...
Like you've got Satoshi Kon stuff from time to time, and Higurashi. That's really about it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Everything else is like a gore fest or some kind of rehash. It's no bueno. And if they can do it, I'm all for it, because we definitely need some new life breathing into that fucking genre.
Well, regardless, I'm hoping that as far as this getting transformed into a trilogy that's actually a theatrical trilogy, I'm hoping that we can actually get something good enough where we can actually kind of get a little bit of a revise, like a refresh of just the entire sense of the anime horror genre. That really, it's not really, it doesn't really exist. It's there, just hasn't been there for a long time. So I'm hoping for the best, and I'm hoping hopefully this will come back sooner than later. That's all I'm hoping for. But regardless, we'll leave it as that. And if you guys are interested, I would recommend picking up. A gin is like, I think I only picked up for like $11. It's not that bad. I mean, honestly, and it's pretty average size manga volume. So I'd take a look at it. That's just my recommendation. Let's see here. Gabe, I know you want to do the last one, so I'll leave it to that. Connor, would you like to talk about a little project preview that's coming to this Anime Expo this year?
Yeah. Apparently, the creator, I think it's for Ninja Scroll, is previewing something new at Anime Expo this year. Now, unfortunately, I won't be able to go there because money.
I got
money is important.
But this actually sounds interesting.
It does. And I'm not
I
really
wish I had
sure.
more to say on it though. I'm like,
Oh, basically, the guy behind Vampire Hunter D, Bloodlust, and Ninja Scroll, he's working with the guys behind Tekken Vengeance and Resident Evil Degeneration, and they're going to be premiering something new at Anime Expo, and they're going to host some idol groups and stuff like that, and that's cool. But the thing is, I'm just happy to see that this guy's coming out with new stuff, because he's always done, like, if you want some gory shit that also has a decent storyline, go with Ninja Scroll and Vampire Hunter D, because I mean they're kind of the epitome of that. They both are very gory and have decent storylines. I mean, the guy, he does it what he does good. He's kind of the Quentin Tarantino of the anime world, and I'm happy with it. I'm glad to see he's coming out with new stuff, whatever it is. It's kind of a big secret, but I'm gonna be there, and I'm gonna, I think we're gonna do a little reporting on it, maybe, JC.
All right, I mean, we'll take a look at it. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. What do you think, Corey?
For what?
Cool.
Yes. Yes.
Sorry, I got a message they Facebook and I was recording, and I was just like, okay. You guys are talking about Anime Expo. That's the last thing I heard. I was like, okay.
The guy made Ninja Scroll and Vampire Hunter D, Bloodlust.
Oh, cool.
Right? He's coming up with something new. We don't know what it is yet. How do you feel about it?
Oh, I feel really good about it. Like Ninja Scroll, haven't seen it, but I know a lot of people have. I know it's like a fascinating, because the person who took my photo for graduation, he was just like, have you seen Ninja Scroll? I'm like, I was looking at him because, as a photographer, I'm like, holy shit, you seen Ninja Scroll? I haven't seen it, but damn, you're an anime fan. I shook his hand, by the way.
Yeah.
But like, I'm you know what? If this guy, I haven't seen any of his works, but if this guy can do it, he can do it. I'm all for this.
I think you'd probably like it. It's kind of a gore fest, but it also has some storyline to it, and it's interesting at the very least. I would give Ninja Scroll and Vampire Hunter D a look. They're both really good. Well, at least Vampire Hunter D is great, but yeah.
Doki Loki Soki Moki.
Beautiful. All right, Connor.
yep. I plan to check those two out before I go any further into this, because I've not seen either, sadly.
Fair enough. So I'm guessing that with your guys' generation, the younger crowd, you might not have seen Ninja Scroll or Ninja Resurrection or any of that stuff. Give it a look. I mean, has anybody seen Fist of the North Star?
Yeah.
The original
The original
JoJo.
JoJo.
Yeah.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
remember that.
I'm starting to get more and more involved with the retro type of anime. Like, I'm starting to go back in time. Like, I'm starting with the 90s, then I'm gonna move back to the 80s, and then move back even further. I'm going with the Rose of Versailles. I'm going with like the Utenas, the Evangelions I've already seen. But like, I'm just going with a lot of older shows now.
Yeah. If you like,
I'm going to take it back to the past.
right.
Yep.
If you like Berserk or if you like Fist of the North Star, you're probably gonna like Ninja Scroll or Ninja Resurrection. They're very much in the same vein. It's kind of Quentin Tarantino feel, if you ask me. So, and Vampire Hunter D, it's phenomenal in my opinion. It's the first anime movie I saw. I loved it. So, I mean, give these things a look. And if you like Berserk, you like the other thing I mentioned, Fist of the North Star, you're probably gonna like it. So, give it a look.
Definitely like Berserk, so definitely going to check it out.
There we go.
I'll check it out on the summer list.
Well, Gabe, you
Right
kind of, well, yeah, I'll be sure to put that on the list. So, Gabe, you did want to talk about the last one, and I was going to give it to you regardless. I mean, you're already on your ramble. You're already going full on every article.
Sorry.
What's going on with this last one? You're already mentioning it a few times.
Well, this is the perfect segue. We have Vampire Hunter D, Bloodlust. Now,
Yes.
For those of you who have seen this, I started off with Vampire Hunter D. That was the first anime movie I saw. It was on Sci-Fi, like way back in the day in the 90s, 90s. And I loved it. It was great. Dude's hand talked to him. I was like, at first I was like, this is like Idle Hands, which is a old ass reference to a movie that nobody here's probably ever seen, but it totally wasn't like Idle Hands. And it was great. And I was like, this is fucking phenomenal. I watched it with my friend, and it was very much one of the first adult things that I saw in anime, and I was like, oh, really, really cool. It kind of brought me into this other spectrum of what anime could be outside of shonen. So I watched it in the English, then I watched it in the Japanese years later, and I was like, man, the Japanese is pretty strong. So, come to find out, they released Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, which it's kind of like a sequel, I guess, to Vampire Hunter D. And it's it was really good. They're releasing the DVD and Blu-ray finally after fucking 15 years. Yeah, it's been a while. So the thing is, they're releasing it, which is good in America, but the American DVD and Blu-rays will not have the Japanese dub. The reason for this is because, exactly, Corey, yes.
The hell?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The licensing company says, just straight up says, we will not allow, let me go ahead and get the exact quote. We will not allow the Japanese language to be released anywhere but Japan. They don't give a reason whatsoever. It has original theatrical release in 2001 in America, and then later it had a Japanese dub in 2001. So the original release for Vampire Hunter D, Bloodlust at least, was with the American dub cast. That was the original release. So technically it would be a Japanese dub because they came second. So because of that, for some reason, I guess they're pissed off, and now they won't release the Japanese, and that's really stupid. I don't understand why, and they don't give a reason here. But I mean, the American dub's fine, it's great, but the Japanese dub I felt might have been a little bit stronger. Honestly, it might have been, and it's kind of a crime that they're not doing it, and it's really stupid. And it seems like whatever the reason is, it has to be kind of petty because they're not saying why. They're just like, oh, no, we're not releasing it outside Japan. Fuck you guys. So I don't get it.
15 years of long
backwards.
beef. 15 years. You're like,
very much.
Nah, you released first, we still like it now.
Yeah. So I mean, it's Vampire Hunter D is Bloodlust is the second film after the original, which was in 85, and I mean, I suggest watching both, and if you can, watch the Japanese dub of Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, however you can do it to screw them over. However you can do it, whatever way possible. Sorry, I have a Twitch.
Yeah.
Pirate it. You pirate it, because fuck them.
The words of Gabe, people. The words of Gabe have been spoken.
I'm joking. Don't pirate it.
Also, yeah. Still though, why?
I don't know.
Why did they do that? That just seems so ass backwards.
I don't know. I mean, Japan's always had a weird thing with like importing and exporting, and licensing. They've always had a weird thing with it.
So
like,
weird.
for the longest time, I don't even know if it's still true, but like, you couldn't get like swords made in Japan outside Japan, and I get that's part of tradition and stuff like that. But that always extended a little bit. Like up until like the 80s, we didn't really have anime here, like at all. We didn't really have anything like that. And early mid 80s when Miyazaki had like Grave of the Fireflies, stuff like that, we started getting more anime. We got like I think we had like Speed Racer and a couple other things. But I mean, for the most part, they've always been really weird with their importing and exporting. And I don't know. Maybe this harkens back to that. Maybe there was some internal conflict, but whatever it is, it's fucking stupid. Just get over it and release it the way it should be released.
Pretty much.
Couldn't have said it better yourself, honestly. I don't know what the reason is, but apparently it's a fucking dumb reason.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Connor. No, not Connor. Corey. What's your thoughts on this? You got anything? Are you looking at Facebook? I swear to God, if you're looking at Facebook.
I was paying attention to you all. You noticed me laughing whenever you guys said stuff.
That's why I can see Facebook in the reflection of your glasses.
Oh. Damn. You caught me in the act. Oh. Well, I think that this is stupid. Like, they done fucked up.
Yep.
It'd be almost like it'd be like basically like, I don't know, make an American film and it's like going to Germany, but we don't like the Germans, so we only make a German dub. It's like, it's why?
That just sounds so stupid.
I don't.
Exactly.
Wow.
To each their own.
In space there are no borders.
Like
at least Disco Tech is releasing older anime.
Yeah.
For a newer audience. So
I'll take it for that at least. Yeah. like 15 years.
There you go.
Maybe it was like 15 years since the side. Should we even release the actual DVD collection? Should we? Should we?
Nah.
Yeah, hold up for next year. Well, I think this is gonna wrap up quite a long weekly news. I mean, it's been forever, so I mean, it was worth at least sitting down, relaxing, and just talking about different articles. But yeah, regardless, people, if you guys did enjoy this, which I hope you did, I'm sure maybe the middle portion you probably got mad at us. I don't know, maybe. The links are down in the description below. Of course, all of our channels and everything down below as well is there in the description. My name was JcGreen. I was here, of course, MrRecklessPenguin with his shades. Yes, silent treatment. Connor, Star6Wars1, and of course, Gabriel, ShinGen. We here at the OtaKrew hope you guys did enjoy, and we will see you guys in the next anime-related video. Peace, guys.